Hey, this is Graham Bonnet. You're watching Shout Out Loudcast, and we're playing lots of good music. I know these guys are great fans of rock and roll, and that's what we deliver. See you all soon. Please come and see us when we play in America. I want to.
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is Gene Simmons. Put that cookie down. Kiss. Stop pressing the button. Stockbroker Simmons. Star? Stanley. Is that what he does? Stop shouting. He's not what you would call a handsome man. Oh, no. Here come the kiss times. Is that a positive thing? Okay. All right. I'm going to grab me an ice cold mellow yellow. Why do that to the fans? Stop it. Why? Because fuck them. That's what I'm talking about. 617-525-0850. You do? Hey, fucko. Do you like Kiss? Settle down.
Hello. Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 311. Peter Criss and the Imposter on the Phil Donahue Show.
Oh, my God. I'm just laughing because this is such a ridiculous story. I can't wait to get into this. Oh.
Yeah, we've been, people have been recommending us doing this for quite some time.
Yeah. And the anniversary comes up in a couple weeks, too. So, yeah, interesting shit here.
Yeah, and I love Peter-centric episodes. But
oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so Tom, finally, I think we're both starting to feel a little healthier.
Yeah, I'm kind of up and down here. I can't kick it 100%, but I'm all right.
I'm just better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
right.
how I get, when people ask, I'm just better. My voice is getting there. So sooner or later, I'll be able to sing a little more on the show.
Oh, fantastic. Thank God.
I know.
That's been a huge void so far this year.
Our national nightmare is almost over.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Tom, last week we did predictions for 2025. And it was a little hard to come up with a poll, but I think we got one.
Yeah, we did the poll. It was kind of tricky because obviously some people know some things that are coming out. So the poll was just simply, who do you predict will release new music this year? Gene, Paul, Bruce, or Ace? Of course, Ace wins the poll primarily because he kind of said that Origins is coming out. So he wins the poll at 45%, Gene at 16%, Paul at 12%, and I did the numbers backwards here because Bruce Kulick came in second and 27%. So everybody's hoping, or at least predicting, that something happens here. We had a couple people say Bruce has already confirmed a new album this year. Our buddy John Gross says, I think Bruce will. I hope so. And we know he's doing that biography thing. Let's see what a couple other people had to say here. Our buddy Nige. My money is on the Paul Stanley Italian cookbook. Authentic recipes just like Tropicana used to make. Oh, yuck, Nige. I hope not. Our buddy Steve, expecting another poor compilation. Hoping for a well-done 50th anniversary alive. Another covers effort from Ace. More culinary tips from Paul. Why not get Tommy to oversee Kissology 4? That's a great one no one brought up because Tommy was heavily involved in that shit. Yeah, no Kissology 4. Everybody's looking for that.
I don't see another. You really think there's going to be another compilation album coming out? There's been one in a while.
Well, that's why I think there will be. I think there'll be something. I think there'll be something like Kiss at 50, the ultimate collection.
Oh, good point.
You know what I mean? That's what I think. So our buddy Beach Boys are the GOAT. Congrats on your rankings. I'm not surprised. Not only are you one of the best podcasts I've heard, you're consistent. A lot of pods do an episode whenever they get around to it. We count on you every Saturday. Yes, you do, Beach Boys. Thank you for saying that. That means a lot because our consistency is something that we are very proud of, and I know that you guys enjoy that as well. You can always rely on a Saturday episode from us. And that's what we're going to do for Twitter this week, Zeus. We're going to try to get through the feedback rather quickly this week so we can talk about Peter.
Well, we're going to have to go back to talk about Peter.
You make a time machine?
Yeah, boy, we did. So over on Facebook, the regular Facebook, I think Michael Galante probably said it best. Here's my prediction in 2025. And he's got a gif of a cricket making chirping noises.
I know. It's so
because
sad.
that's just about what, really we can expect the most. Bobby Kenner, great episode, gents. Solid predictions all around. While I hope some of them are wrong, I think you both nailed it. It would be cool to hear something new from Bruce. While I doubt his book is out before the end of the year, that's something else to look forward to. I appreciate you pulling my question for Question of the Week, too. I just flew into Tampa and immediately thought of you guys for this reason. One of the male flight attendants sounded a hell like Zeus's Vinny impression when he said, "Please make sure your seatbelts are fastened." I half expect him to say, "Please ignore the dead dog in the aisle next to you." I'm ad-libbing this part. Me and Ace will be burying it in Tom's shed next week.
Oh, God.
The Greek Thunder from Down Under, Thanos Akratides. My prediction, boys, Kiss Alive box set coming and Kiss End of the Road live album to come when the doc comes out in November. Frank Anzalone, I'm predicting Poop House is going to do jack shit. Probably more teasers about the avatars. I think they'll continue to work at the End of the Road documentary. Specifically, Keith LaRue is going to ask fans for their photos and videos. We'll get to that in the news. Probably more of Paul's culinary tips on cooking Brussels sprouts.
Oh, God.
Over on Loudcasters, Lee Graham says, another great episode, guys. I share your predictions, unfortunately.
Yep.
Charles, don't call me Mark Eaton. Ace Frehley live from Tom's Shed with special guests PJ Farley, He Who Should Not Be Named, and Vincent Private Cusano. Proceeds go to the new Ace and Ankh storage kettle services, available in 47,352 color swirl variations. Reserve your copy now.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Paul Heider says, he quotes that Paul Stanley drop, "I had nothing more than a stump on the right side of my head." Stop it. I'm under the hood of my trunk, trying to loosen a bolt and cursing at my bleeding knuckles, and almost, then this drop. You motherfucker, Zeus. Now, where the fuck did that socket end up?
Yep. I love that. I love those stories when people are at the gym or working out and just laugh.
Yeah. Jack Pinocchio. I predict in 2025 there will be a time where all KISS members will do something together. Tommy, Eric, Gene, and Paul, because it's a news interview or even just a stripped-down 3-song set. They will do something. Well, you have more faith than I do.
Wow,
Jack.
that's a bold prediction, Jack. I hope you're right, but I don't know.
He's not. Let's go to YouTube. William Flowers. I predict Paul will join Gene on stage a couple times. The Netflix stock will hit towards the end of the year, with the End of the Road by the end of April. I also predict Shoutout Loudcast will kick 100% ass.
That's a prediction you can count on.
Strutter72 says Bruce Kulick releases a book. The gloves are off. Marty White says, listen every week and then forget to comment. My brain's so frazzled since I got booted by my horsey. I predict Gene will give a temperance lecture and condemn Ace and Peter for using chemicals. It's a long shot, I know, but Gene's been itching to speak about this for a while now, and the truth must come out. The great Chris Flood says, I predict Gene Simmons has been saying the same interview for 40 years. So here's his new stories for 2025. Yep. Rock and Brew was the first restaurant to put a sliced pickle on a burger at his suggestion. Consumer Report says the Kiss Coffin was a better cooler than a Yeti. And Gene Simmons' band will play the theme from the old show My Three Sons as an encore.
Oh, God.
All right, that's what I got, Tom. Over to you.
Let's get through some Instagram and email stuff. On Instagram, we got Dave Rockstar. Another great episode, guys. I've heard there's going to be a lot of exciting KISS product coming out from those in the know, but I won't hold my breath. I would be most excited if the movie actually comes out and then they unretire due to popular demand like Motley Crue did and record a terrible Madonna cover. Oh. Jesus Christ. Good call there, Dave. Yikes. We'll get to a couple emails here. Our buddy Scott Greer. Hey, guys, I agree that it's hard to have a New Year prediction episode on this band and it not sound like a Festivus type of episode. For the most part, the fans have been left disappointed. There are lots of pieces of evidence why. Like you, I wish there was a good documentary of the band that is the ultimate documentary, a complete doc from beginning to the end of the road interviews with all the members, whether it be new or archive. They need to let any petty feelings go and pull out all that shit aside. Don't be cheap on paying former members and make this the one that fans and potential new fans would point to. Tell the good, the bad, and incorporate stuff that's been released before, but create an official documentary, warts and all. Paul would probably not allow this to happen, as it seems he wants to sanitize it all. With the Stones being my favorite band, I love the 1982 doc 25 by 5. It was very good and covered so much from the beginning to the Steel Wheels tour. When they came out with the doc Crossfire Hurricane, I was excited because there was a lot that had happened since 89. The doc had new footage from the 70s, but essentially stopped in 82. Talk about disappointed, so I'm sick of my favorite bands letting me down on documentaries. Well, Scott, I would probably prepare for more disappointment, but that's okay. Let's see here. This one comes from Brendan in Australia. I'm a listener from Australia and really enjoyed this episode. I typically listen to your podcast on Sundays when going for a run. The show has been my company during a kilometer clocked up and provided plenty of laughs along the way. This email can be included in the feedback or a question of the week. Well, I'll briefly his question touches on the biopic documentary, so we are going to cover that in the news because that kind of broke this week. So, but again, Brendan, thank you for the email. Appreciate that very much. And we're going to finish up our feedback with something a little bit on a somber note here. So please bear with me. And this comes from Dan Hool. After hearing you read Chris Wolf's compelling email today, I felt the need to sit down and craft my own. Long story short, at the end of 2023, my wife and I lost our special needs son. He had been in hospice for almost a year, and we knew it was coming, no surprise at all. He was a month shy of making it to his 20th birthday. Of course, it's been rough on us, but we've soldiered on. As we all know, the world doesn't stop for anything. It keeps on spinning. I gotta say, over the last year or so, Shout It Out Loudcast has pulled me up out of my funk on more than one occasion. Listening to you guys always makes me laugh and puts a smile on my face, which right after my boy passed was a nice thing to look forward to. I almost sat down and thumbed out an email to you guys a few times since he passed to simply thank you. I never did. You guys definitely reignited my passion for Kiss and helped me get through the hard times ever since I discovered you 3.5 years ago. Fellas, please don't underestimate your positive effect on people's lives. You guys are the best, and thank you. Dan, the non-mutant Hool. Well, Dan, I am, for the first time in 7 years, speechless other than prayers, thoughts, condolences, well wishes, continued strength for you and your wife, and all the love and support from us and the Loudcaster family, my friend. And it's a small little prize for you, but you are the comment of the week, my friend.
Good answer. Good answer. I like the way you think. I'm going to be watching you.
Yeah, that when we both read that, we immediately texted each other when we saw that email. And, this show is an escape for you, an escape for many others, an escape for Tom and I. We've all had some tragedies since this show came on the air 7 years ago, and many of our listeners have done this. And it's not just for us or just for you guys specifically. It's all of us. This is meant to be fun. We're supposed to have fun. We're supposed to enjoy this stuff. Get away from the stupid shit of the day-to-day grind and family stuff. Have some fun and laugh. But we certainly need to recognize this somber moment and wish you and your wife and all your family members, Dan, much love and respect and prayers. And for your for the passing of your son, I can't even almost verbalize what you could only. I can't imagine what you're going through. So, God bless, man. You're more than just comment of the week. You've been a great part of this show, and I'm hoping that we are not wrong, and you are not Dan Hool, the mutant, who
exactly
was just repulsive looking human being.
He looked like a mutant. He looked like if a human being he kind of looked like Chet from Weird Science when he turns into that thing.
Yes, but a thin version
but
of
a thin version of just like a human zit.
And he had this thing, I forget what they called it. Where
ugliness?
No. Where they would all, for some reason in the middle of the night, they would all go outside and pull their pants down and put their bare ass on the cinder blocks of the walls. I forget what they called that. And he would lift his shirt up, and I think he had some like stomach surgery, and he had all these like fucking scars.
Come on, man.
But he'd lift his shirt up. There's all these scars, and he was like just pasty white, reddish, just fucking Justin. He looked like fucking an even like uglier version of the great actor. What was his name there again? Like Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, gee.
When he was in that fucking Boogie Nights.
Oh, but yuck.
Even uglier. With like fucking stomach
just
scars.
like stuff like falling off of his, like he was melting.
Yeah, it just.
So pretty much, Dan, we hope that that's not you. Okay. And if it is, sorry for the.
You were fun.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Sorry, buddy.
You're just not what you would call a handsome man.
No. But anyways. Yeah. Let's move on to somebody else who we want to thank, and that is our Patreon family.
Yes.
And Patreon, we've had a couple of members upgrade, and so we appreciate those that do that, and we appreciate everybody on Patreon. Again, Patreon, well over 100 members, very active, supportive of the show, and that's what Patreon's there for. It's supposed to be there to help the show grow and support. Okay, we have 4 different tiers. And in those tiers, there's different monetary contributions. You could pick your tier. With that, you get different perks. The bigger the tier, the more the perks. Amongst them is merch, whether it be koozies, T-shirts, all sorts of stickers, stuff involved in the show, polls, message boards, video chats, ARC picks, March Madness picks, all sorts of stuff. And if you want to support the show, continue to see us grow, help us out. It's a brand new year. We could use the support. Go to Shout It Out Loudcast.
Go to him.
And you'll see the Patreon icon right there. Click on that. Find the tier that works for you and support the show. We appreciate you. We love our Patreon family. And we ask those that haven't joined, come join and join in the fun and become part of the family. So thank you, Patreon.
Absolutely. Guys, you're the best. Thank you so much. We say this every week. We're so just eternally grateful for everything that you do for the show. Please, we want to keep this family alive and kicking and growing. So please check us out. Patreon.com. Search for us or click right on the link on our website at shoutitoutloudcast.com. Thank you so much for everything.
Tom, what we do next is we go over to Kiss World. What's up there, buddy?
That just sounded like a friggin' jerky voice. What's up there, buddy? What are you talking about?
What's up there?
What do you say, Mike? Come on, Bill. Well, so the big thing that everybody got excited about was everybody's favorite Keith LaRue on his social media said, "Hey, everybody. The production team of the upcoming official Kiss End of the Road tour documentary is looking for your videos, photos, and or social media posts for the following. Number 1, you arriving in New York City for the last 2 Kiss shows on December 2nd or 3rd. Number 2, you getting ready for the final Kiss show in New York. 3, you on the way to the last show. Feelings about the last show. Thoughts on Kiss taking over New York City. If you want to submit any of the above, please email me at klaruekiss@gmail.com. I'll give you uploading instructions and send you the required release form." Aha. Zeus, you're the attorney. What does that mean?
Yeah, so that you don't come back after them and say, hey, you used my likeliness in a thing without my permission, and I'm suing you.
Of course.
Yeah, so that is interesting because I think we had a couple commenters on our post being like, yeah, they're too cheap to supply their to get their own footage. They want us to send it in for free.
Yeah, and then other people like, yeah, you think they're going to get the reactions of people who said, what the fuck, when the avatars went up on the screen?
Oh, no. They're going to get all the Kiss footy pajama people.
Oh, I said that.
Be like,
this is going to be the ultimate footy pajama documentary.
Oh, my God. What avatars? Holy shit, I didn't see that coming.
This is going to be amazing. Did you see them play Love Gun? Wow. Yeah. And so that's kind of that. I mean, again, it's kind of exciting to hear that it's in the works. So if they're just gathering that data now, hopefully by the end of the year, we actually get to see, the actual product. And don't get me wrong, we're going to try to send stuff in. Who doesn't want to be part of this documentary? So if you got some cool shit, if you were there, we were there, all of our Loudcasters, we had that great gathering the night. We had some great times. So
they want to know a lot about you. And so you're going to have to send them like your information like this.
I'm 6'2", 230 pounds, and I have a vagina.
So maybe Nicole Bass will be part of the gift thing.
Oh my! I'm fucking dying. Forget it.
I'm sorry. I'm having way too fun with this fucking stream deck that I have.
I was not expecting
It's the worst. Nicole Bass. All right.
Let me gather.
What else have we got in the news?
And of course, oh God, I'm sorry. I know the reaction to this. You people are going to think that we're assholes if you already don't think that we are.
We are.
Yeah. Paul Stanley takes a group photo on his Twitter and says, I'm humbled, grateful, and so honored to meet some of the incredible men and women who have risked their lives to fight this enormous firestorm, protect us, and still working to keep us safe. These heroes have come in from Newport Beach. God bless you all. Now, of course, one of our Loudcasters, because they're brilliant, zoomed in and said, don't forget I'm an artist, because he's got his painting art pants on. Now, look, I'm sorry. Forgive me for being cynical. You've been listening to this show for over 300 episodes. Paul doesn't do these things because he is humble and grateful and showing gratitude. He does these because he needs to find out what the hot topic of the day is, and he knows that everybody is getting coverage talking about the wildfires, which are devastating. So Paul says, oh, I'll do the same. Sorry if that's cynical. If you think it's anything other than that, then you probably still believe in Santa Claus. I'm sorry. When I first looked at this, I had the world's biggest eye roll that I've ever had, and that takes a lot when Paul tweets. So that's my feelings on it.
You're hurting me. You're really hurting me.
Tom, Paul's really offended by what you're saying. Yeah, Paul, what you really mean to say is Paul doesn't do these things quietly. He does.
He doesn't do them organically. He doesn't do them quietly, right? Or
he does these things for the audience.
Correct.
Oh, fucking so and so died. This music icon.
Yep.
He needs to. But Paul Stanley of Kiss says
that's my
Paul
point.
Stanley of Kiss. He loves to fucking involve himself.
Right. Oh, everybody's talking about the wildfires. Okay, I'll get a picture taken with some firemen.
Yeah, you know what Gene did? He just put out a thank you for so and so for work on. Thank you for this. He put out a tweet. Thank you. He didn't put a fucking photo and put himself out there and like, here's my painting pants.
I mean, come on, dude. Just like he did a week ago when he said, "Happy birthday, Jimmy Page. You changed music forever and will always."
He always does that for. I know. Fucking worships him.
I'm honored to call you my friend. Jimmy Page is like. Ooh.
Somebody spat in my face.
I don't think it was Jimmy Page, though.
I hope it wasn't Jimmy Page. Did that happen while he was in New York City? Maybe somebody from.
No, I think it was when he was younger and they were chasing him, saying,
"Stanley the one-eared monster. Stanley the one-eared monster."
Paul's had a rough childhood. He really has. I'm sorry. He has. But God bless him. The star child is, getting involved and showing some publicity to the unfortunate fires in California. Like, we don't know.
Yeah. Of course.
Anyway, anything else?
Nothing that really drew my attention, but go ahead if you saw something that caught your eye.
Ace he's got some new tour dates out.
He's playing at the Blue Oyster Bar from fucking Police Academy, whatever the name of that club is.
He's got some new dates, but Gene is coming closer. He's at Mohegan Sun,
Connecticut, baby. He's coming closer.
Do we just bite the bullet and go there, or do you think he'll have some other dates around here?
So, and I mean this with all seriousness. I'm not I'm prefacing that I'm not being a smartass because sometimes people might not know. I don't think that's a show that we need to jump on. So I think we can wait and see if he continues to, because he made it into New England with Connecticut, and we all know there is a shit ton of music venues around Massachusetts and southern New Hampshire and Maine. So let's see.
He ain't gonna lose money, right? You know who Gene is,
right?
As far as I was concerned, Gene's most successful venture in business was promoting the perception that he was a savvy businessman. That had been an undeniable success.
Damn, Paul's ruthless.
Paul's got a lot to say this week. Good God.
He definitely does.
Wow.
Oh, man. Anyways, so I think that wraps up the news up, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So while let's take a quick little break while Paul changes his painting pants on to his Crazy Nights American flag thong while he goes out in chaps and fights the fires.
All right, we're back. Ace is confused. He has absolutely no idea what's going on. We keep talking about wildfires, and he thinks it's like a new song off of Origins Volume 3. He's got no idea, Zeus.
Is that
I don't
the
know.
song by the Trogs?
Yeah. Oh, I know that song.
Wildfire!
Exactly. Ace is doing just fine, I hope.
Well, the one member that we didn't talk about just during the news was good old Peter Criss. Well, Peter Criss was in the news for this topic, Tom, and that is the infamous Phil Donahue show when the Imposter came out with the soccer mom hairdo, and Peter comes out and confronts him.
Yeah.
So this has been kind of an episode that has been brewing for quite some time.
Yep.
So this was February 5th, 1991.
Yep.
And Tom, do you want to kind of basically give the background on this?
Yeah. So before we do that, I wanted to ask you a quick question here. What do you recall about this? Like generally speaking, what was your basis going into this?
I don't remember this at all. Like happening. There was no internet for me back then. I mean, we just graduated high school. I don't remember the story. I don't remember any of this about it. I just remember that, when we got back into KISS and we were in college and stuff talking, like, what the fuck ever happened to Peter Criss? Like, that he just wasn't around. He wasn't in the news for me. He wasn't on my radar.
Right. Yeah. So the whole thing started with this guy, Christopher Dickinson. It's such a weird story that the Star magazine, he was waiting. This guy, Christopher Dickinson, was waiting in line in a food kitchen, okay, out in California. And he had been approached by a reporter photographer from the Star magazine, which is, if you don't know, it's like the National Enquirer. And he gave them this story, and the Star paid him $500 and let him stay in a motel for a few nights. And at the time, Dickinson was just a complete burnout alcoholic. He had nothing. He had nothing at all. The story gets published, and then everybody that knows Peter is like, what the fuck is going on? They posted pictures, and it totally just absolutely went nuts. But the thing that caught me by surprise that I didn't know about was that I thought this guy willingly went out of his way to impersonate Peter. I didn't realize that he was quote unquote a victim, if you want to use that word, that like somebody came to him and took advantage of a down on his luck alcoholic and say, hey, we'll give you $500. You look like Peter. I did not know that specific part of the story.
Yeah, I think that's in dispute though. Right. I think somewhere along the way, someone said, oh, that's Peter Criss.
Right.
And he heard about it, and he just started saying that he's Peter Criss to see what he can get out of it.
Right.
And apparently, this was all during the time Peter just lost his mom. So while he meets family and friends at the funeral for his mother, everyone's like, Jesus Christ, Peter, you must be down on your luck. What's going on? And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So this guy had made that impression. And so first they bring him on Phil Donahue Show. And Phil Donahue was an Oprah type of guy.
He was huge.
He was kind of in between Oprah and who's that? Jerry Springer. He wasn't that outrageous. And he was a true believer. He was married to Marlo Thomas, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Phil Donahue was usually very
kind of respected. He wasn't
respected, kind of wholesome. I mean, he was
a nice guy.
Right, exactly.
And so he had his talk show, and he brings the guy out, and then he brings Peter out.
Yep.
And there's a whole confrontation a little bit. Peter's a lot nicer than I expected him to be to this guy.
Me too.
Just kind of told the guy straight to his face, man, you fucking messed with me. You caused me a lot of problems.
Yeah, Peter goes, why couldn't you just impersonate the Lone Ranger or Tonto? You've really given me a rocky time.
Yeah. And then so you think that this would be the whole story, but there's a whole fucking other aspect of this show.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where to go. But
I'll go there. I'll take this. I'll continue. So then this woman, Cheryl Ann Thompson, who was an aspiring actress, who I'm sorry, she was fucking absolutely smoking. She had this.
You liked her?
Oh, I thought she was beautiful for the time. She had this weird little fucking hat on. She looked like a rock star actress. She was cute as hell. But this story is so weird. So she
looked like Demi Moore in St. Elmo's Fire.
There you go. That's a good call. She claimed to have been in a relationship with Peter. So when this woman, Cheryl Ann Thompson, when she read the article in Star, she flew who she thought was Peter Criss to Boston, where she lived, to give him a place to stay. And of course, when he gets there, she's like, "You're not fucking Peter. What the hell is going on?" And then Cheryl Ann and her mom felt bad for this guy, and then let her stay at her place because they're like, "Oh, we can't let him out. If only the world had nicer people." And Peter's like, "You just want to be on TV, you dummy. There's your 15 minutes of fame. What the fuck are you doing here?"
But there's a little more to the story.
Yeah.
Because on comes fucking Roseanne's husband, Tom Arnold.
Dude.
Ridiculous.
When he came on the show via video feed, to me, I'm like, are we watching a Saturday Night Live skit right now? I burst out laughing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because apparently Tom Arnold and Peter Criss are friends.
He liked Peter Criss. I don't think they even knew each other.
Yeah, it was just, the whole thing is so weird. Now, the full clip on YouTube it's 45 minutes long. I don't know about you, it didn't feel 45 minutes long because I was riveted to the whole thing. It was so fucking stupid. But then it gets even more exciting because then Lydia Criss calls in, and nobody knows this Cheryl Ann Thompson. She's like, "Oh, I'm an actress. I've been in Matlock and Simon, whatever." So I went on Cheryl Ann Thompson's IMDb. Her only credit is her appearance on the Phil Donahue Show. That's it. That's it. So what happened was this. So Star Magazine eventually printed a follow-up story. They admitted their mistake. They published an article about how the quote-unquote everyone was fooled by this homeless man.
They weren't fooled. They already reported. They had already known because they had asked other people. And they're like, "That's not Peter Criss." They knew the money they would make from writing that story, so they just made it anyways.
Absolutely. There's a funny clip here too that Ultimate Classic Rock has an article about the whole, kind of summarizing what happened with the appearance on Donahue. And it says Peter's on-air time with Dickinson was civil. The drummer at one point even said he felt bad, but the words were much heated off the air.
Yeah, I saw that.
Former Kiss drummer asked his imposter, quote, "Are you happy about what you did to my life, you fuck?"
you fuck.
Now, can we talk for a second about Peter's appearance? What did you think?
He just looks like a goof.
What is that like platinum white hair?
I don't know. He looked
horrendous in my opinion. He looked horrendous.
And then he did bring his wife, and at one point he pulled the Trump. Look at you, look at my wife.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He
exactly.
pulled that, and she was there, Deborah, and she talked too.
Yep.
And it makes me think about the stuff about what a dick Paul was. Like, I wonder if she would marry him if she knew that he was going to be the former drummer in Kiss. Like, that he could only get her because who he was. But Paul, you can get people because you're just fucking Paul Stanley, right?
Right. And then how about the other guy who called in to talk about Cheryl Ann Thompson, kind of corroborating parts of Peter's story, parts of her story. So then they hang up, and Cheryl Ann Thompson goes, "Well, that man is a homosexual." And the guy's still on the phone. He goes, "Oh, my wife would be interested to hear about that, other than I'm a homosexual."
But it was just like as though it doesn't matter anything about this guy because he's a homosexual.
Right. And
it's just so different, the times.
First of all, watching that clip from 1991, it felt like I was watching some from 1971.
But no Kiss TV talk show appearance can happen without the typical one fucking Kiss tard in the crowd with makeup on.
The guy had his face painted like Peter Criss with a hat on. And I'm sitting there going, I guarantee that fucking guy listens to us. Again.
If that's you, fucking let us know. But they brought the Kiss tard out to talk.
Dude, I burst out laughing when I saw that poor kid.
And Tom and I are texting names. We're not gonna say it on the air.
No,
who that Kiss tard probably was. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. I felt so bad. Back then, 91.
No one
wearing Peter Criss makeup on at a Kiss hat.
Yeah, I forgot about the Kiss.
At the Phil Donahue Show.
That's a fucking low point in Kiss tartary.
People are like, oh man. But regardless, there were so many moving parts to this.
There were.
You start off with the guy that impersonated, and it is a really good analysis and breakdown of how tabloid journalism was back then in the earlier days.
Before the internet.
They probably knew, even if Peter, we know it's not Peter, how much money does he have? Is he going to really sue us? We'll make more money from selling this than if he ever sued us. And we'll just print a retraction 3 fucking episodes from now or publications from now. They knew that wasn't him. They fucking called a few places.
Yep.
Tom Arnold inserts himself into this shit.
Of course.
Because, I'm a fan of Peter Criss. So he goes down looking in the streets for the guy, and he finds him. He knows that's not fucking Peter Criss.
Right.
But supposedly he gave him some money too and engraced himself in this. And then he tells those ladies, don't bring him down there. That's not Peter Criss. They knew it wasn't Peter Criss. They wanted to be a part of his story.
Of course.
All of this comes back to it. And in addition to that, this lady makes this claim that, I didn't sleep with Peter once. No, we were dating for like 6 months.
So here's the funny thing
Peter
about
gets all upset. He's like, like rock stars meet chicks all the time here and there, but his daughter had just been born around that time. So he's like, I wasn't cheating. I'm looking at my wife. She was a fucking stud then.
Here's the funny thing. So that Cheryl Ann Thompson chick, she was definitely there. But I will say this. She did have some pretty specific things about her relationship with Peter. And let's be serious. At that time, Peter was so fucking lit up, he probably would never remember a short fling with a chick like her.
Yeah, but she was making it seem she dated him and were like, that was his girlfriend for 6 months.
Right.
I don't believe that's accurate one fucking bit.
Maybe. But I find it fascinating that a story so, like you said, 1991, Kiss, no one's paying attention to Kiss in 1991, let alone Peter Criss, who's been out of the band for 10 years. But the fact that you had Peter, his imposter, Cheryl Ann, her mother, Tom Arnold, Peter's wife, Lydia Criss, this guy, you had fucking 8 people involved in this interview. Think of that. That is insane.
It was incredible. My favorite part is they brought the guy home, and the guy was such a fucking disaster.
Yep.
He had thrown up all over their house and destroyed and trashed their house.
And then somebody in the audience, rightfully so, somebody was like, why is this guy still? You don't know anything about this guy other than he's a homeless alcoholic. Why is he still in your house?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They're like, we didn't want to let him go.
We feel bad for him.
Yeah, dude, the mother is just a fucking moron.
Oh my God.
But
I learned
like someone let a fucking grizzly bear at a toddler's birthday party and just destroyed everything. This guy.
But it was funny because I'm not gonna. I mean, all seriousness, I learned a lot about because I remember hearing and of course doing the podcast and seeing stuff. I remember Peter Criss impersonator. I remember that.
Yeah.
But to learn like the weird fucking details of this, the story's way more bizarre than I ever imagined it was.
But apparently, the Ultimate Classic Rock article.
Yep.
Talks about more. He wasn't just he got $500. That's why he did it.
Right.
For a while there, they said he was like booking shit like hotel rooms and fucking,
ordering limos.
Yeah, limos under that name and booking it to like the record in the studios and saying he's Peter Criss.
Can you imagine that? Like, think about now. I know our young listeners are probably like, how could this happen? Well, back then, there was no social media, there was no internet, there was no cable news, there was no cell phone.
Peter really looked like.
There was no cell phone. You could pull off a stunt like this and get away with it for a while.
Yeah,
it worked.
So people like, this homeless man. It is pretty embarrassing because Peter's got to look at it as like, dude, everyone thinks I'm such a fucking failure.
Right.
My whole family's hearing about that I'm out in the gutter, that I'm homeless. And he kept calling like I've been living in the, what do you call it? 1 second.
Living in sin at the Holiday Inn.
They say you're totally broke and you're sleeping in the toilets of Santa Monica.
But here's the thing I don't understand. So facially, the guy obviously doesn't look like Peter. But the guy has like platinum blonde white hair. When did Peter ever have hair like that? He either had it dyed or it was gray or silver.
Dude, that guy had the worst fucking soccer mom hairdo.
That was a soccer mom, like Dale Howard Chuck mullet. Fucking 80s hockey mullet. Like,
yeah, he had a Jaromir Jagr look to himself.
It was so
it
bad.
Was just beyond stupid. It's a funny fucking thing looking back now.
It really is.
Because you can see the character of Peter. Like, look at us. Yeah, fucko.
Yeah.
You have fun with this shit?
But you're right. I'm surprised. And I'm wondering if because for everything we know about him, he's not a reserved guy. Peter, like, is got a short fuse, flies. He's Italian. So for the fact that he was that reserved was kind of, I thought he was going to come out and go guns blazing. And when he looked at the guy, he was like, oh, I kind of feel bad for him. I was like, what?
Yeah. I think he was just trying to show a compassionate side of him to the people. And then when the show was off, he was like, you fuck.
I love that. You fuck. Oh, man.
But it's a mess. And then he's got the other lady claiming that she had an affair with him for months while his wife is pregnant and shit. And he's like, who the fuck are you? Again, I think it led to like, and even the homosexual said that she's full of shit.
That was so funny. She goes, well, he's a homosexual. It's like, what the fuck?
And then Lydia Criss, who's fucking, is there anything she won't make a dime off of that's related to Kiss?
I don't even recall what her impact on the discussion was.
I think she was claiming that the lady was claiming how intimate she knew Peter because dropped some names.
Oh,
and one of the names she was dropped was Lydia's new husband. And she was like, and Lydia was like, my husband didn't even know you. I didn't even know my husband 6 years ago. How the fuck do you know him and you're dropping his name? What are you talking about?
Right.
I didn't know him then. So, and if I don't know. She did help the band out in the beginning, so I guess she feels like she's always entitled to insert herself, and she likes to insert herself. And by all means, I heard she was always a nice person, but she got involved in this too. And then you got Evan, and then Phil Donahue's doing. If you remembered his character, he was, what is this?
What is this?
We got an imposter here, and he's gonna do this. I mean, this could happen to you.
Oh, I love that.
Like, dude, nobody's.
It was so funny,
it.
but it was so funny because the more people that got added into the conversation, you could tell Phil it was like a new teacher trying to corral a room full of kindergartners. Like he was like, "What the fuck are we doing here?"
Yeah,
I got people on the phone. I got Tom Arnold's fat head on a fucking video screen. Like
yeah, and then there's like the lady had asked Tom Arnold for $10,000, and
yes, I forgot about that.
Like, no, I didn't ask him for that much.
That's right.
I just wanted some money for rent because we're getting thrown out.
Yeah,
because he threw up all over the place and trashed the apartment.
Jeez, I know what it's like. Don't feel bad.
I took a dump in the corner. It stinks. It just, it was a clusterfuck. You went from the whole imposter stuff, and not even 15 minutes into that, everything shifted away from the imposter to that lady and her mom.
Well, that's what I was going to say. As I'm watching, I'm like, on YouTube, you look for the clip. It's a 45-minute, it's the entire episode. You start to forget what everybody's there for because it becomes a whole she becomes the focal point of the interview for the whole second half of it.
Everybody turns on her.
Oh, yeah.
And Donahue was like, I hate to say it, but everybody, And what's funny, I still get a kick out of the fucking kiss tart in the middle of all
that is
this.
The best. That poor kid.
Hey, do you know if they're going to do another kiss cruise?
Hey, Peter, I was wondering if you could sign my out of control cassette.
It's just wonder. Anyway, I think this is a fun fucking episode.
I loved it.
I did too. But it's, not much about the music or the band, but it was kind of a surreal conversation.
It's definitely, it's surreal, but it's also, if you're a Kiss fan, you might not know the dirty details that we just talked about, but you know this story. It's kind of like one of those like legends in Kiss, like, the Peter Criss Imposter or Phil Donahue.
Exactly.
Like, everybody knows it.
It's kind of like that Led Zeppelin heist, that fucking surreal story that insiders know about. It's just, we'll talk about it on Zeppelin Chronicles at some point. Okay. But Tom, regardless, this was a TV appearance.
It certainly was. That means we have to rank it.
Exactly. So, Tom, we have done, these are our episodes. ABC in Concert, Mike Douglas Show, Midnight Special, Paul Lynde Halloween Special, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, Land of Hype and Glory, Kiss on Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, Kids Are People Too, Gene and Ace on the Don Lane Show, Kiss on Fridays, MTV Kiss Unmasking, Paul and Gene on Oprah, Kiss on Arsenio, Kiss Mad TV Halloween Spectacular, Kiss on Family Guy, Gene and Paul on Vanity Goals.
That was awesome.
And Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yep.
Want to tell everybody what your rankings are and how they are?
Yeah, so right now I got at last place at number 17, the Kiss Mad TV Halloween Spooktacular, then the Macy's Day Parade, Gene and Paul on Fox News, Hannity and Combs, the Kids Are People 2 appearance, Kiss on Family Guy, Gene and Ace on the Don Lane Show, Paul and Gene on Oprah, Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, MTV Unmasking, Kiss on Arsenio, Paul Lynde Halloween Special, Mike Douglas Show, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, Land of Hype and Glory, Kiss on Fridays, ABC in Concert, and Midnight Special. Look, this is entertaining. It's funny, but it's got nothing to do really with the band or the music. So it's fun, but it's like it's got to go last. I'm not gonna get creative. It's got to go last for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tom, I have from 17 to 1, Macy's Day Parade, Mad TV, Gene and Paul on Hannity, Paul and Gene on Oprah, Kids Are People 2, Gene and Ace on Don Lane, Land of Hype and Glory. Number 10 is Tom Snyder. 9, MTV Kiss Unmasking. 8, Family Guy. 7, Kiss on Fridays. 6, Kiss on Arsenio. 5, ABC in Concert. 4, Paul Lynde. 3, Mike Douglas. 2, Don Kirshner. Number 1, Midnight Special. I am putting this I'm putting this at number 8.
What?
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Yeah, because
wow,
regardless of anything, it's entertaining. I watched it. I enjoyed it.
No, I did too.
So I'm judging it on that. I actually enjoyed watching it. I thought it was fascinating, knowing what happened and reviewing it again.
Yeah,
and seeing it for, I don't know, the third or fourth time. I still enjoyed it. I didn't get bored of it.
Okay.
So for me, the Kiss Family Guy saw it once. Okay. MTV Unmasking, I'm still not a fan of.
No.
To me that this thing was fun. And so, yeah, I'm ranking this a little higher than most. I'm putting this at number 8.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, Tom, what we do next is we go to question of the week. And it's that time of year again, buddy. And we got a sponsor back, right?
That's right. We got our good friend, shouted out Loudcast Hall of Famer, Tony Barone. He is the AB of AB CPA Inc. And AB CPA Inc. is an accounting firm located in the suburbs of Chicago that will assist you in all of your tax and accounting needs. For businesses, he can help you with starting your business, financial statements, bookkeeping, payroll, federal and state income tax returns. For individuals, he can help you with sole proprietorships, rental real estate, trust and estate tax returns, and personal federal and state income tax returns as well. And he also has access to all 50 states for business and individual tax returns that he can prepare and e-file on your behalf. So, Zeus, whether you're in
Texas
or
Oklahoma,
AB CPA Inc. is the place for you. Follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn. Visit his website at abcpainc.com, or you can even call him at 708-430-3232. That is abcpainc.com, 708-430-3232. Tony is the man. He's in the Hall of Fame for multiple reasons. One of them is because he does our taxes as well. So highly recommend him. He is the man. Check him out, abcpainc.com, our buddy Tony Barone.
Yeah, that's the greatest compliment we can give him. We individually use him, both for the business and our own personal taxes. Can't recommend him enough, guys. You should definitely call Tony.
Yep, absolutely. And our question of the week comes from our friend and longtime listener, the great Thanos Akratides. Simple question, and it's timely. How would you feel if Kiss got back together for a one-off show to raise money for the victims of the devastating California wildfires?
How can we miss you if you never go away?
Fair point.
Right? And what are they going to do? You know what they're going to do. If they were going to do a one-off show, they're doing the end of the road set list, the end of the road stage, the end of the road costumes, and they're just going to truck it out. And it's the same old shit we've seen fucking since Dubai and the end of the road back then. So is it really mean anything to anybody? I mean, that's ridiculous.
So here's what I'll say to that. Because we're Kiss tards and because we spend every waking hour talking about this band, for us would be like, okay. But I do think for the people that are just regular, normal, non-cynical Kiss tards, I think they'd be like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know Kiss was still around. This is cool. So I think they would do it for that. But in reality, do I think they would do it? No, not at all. No, I don't. I think so. What I'm hearing right now is that similar to the concert for New York after 9/11, that Irv Azoff is working on putting together a massive concert. Same thing, a massive fundraiser concert with a ton of bands. Maybe they would be part of that as like an appearance, a one-off thing. Other than that, I don't think so. But if they did it, yeah, I'd like to see it. I think it would be great. But I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it. I think they're going to play the same old shit. I don't need to see Kiss do 3 songs, Shout It Out Loud, Detroit Rock City, and Rock and Roll All Night. I don't care for it.
No one does.
Really don't.
I agree. But, Thanos, we love you, brother. Good question, as always. Thank you for submitting that.
Tom, where can people find us?
The website, shoutoutoutloudcast.com, that's the place you can always go to find everything regarding our show, our podcast. Right on the landing page there, you get a link for our amazing Kiss book, Raise Your Glasses. You can buy it right there directly or go to Amazon and get it. And on that website, you can find all of our episodes. Shout Out Loudcast, Dome Damage, Album Review Crew, Zeppelin Chronicles, links to all of our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads. TikTok is going to be dead on the 19th unless something else happens. So, I don't know. Bye-bye, TikTok, motherfucker. Sorry, Zeus.
Sorry.
And, of course, there's links there for our Amazon shopping, our Shout Out Loudcast merch, our Patreon. Everything is there. And, of course, our email is shoutoutoutloudcast@gmail.com. We read a question every week. Please use one of those methods to get in touch with us to submit a question of the week. We read one every week. And, as always, we like to say that we're a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network of shows.
Yeah, you can always DM us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, motherfucker. Check out our Spotify playlist, and you do so by looking at our profile, not our podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure you give us one of those 5-star child reviews on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. It is greatly appreciated. Make sure you go to the website, shoutoutoutloudcast.com. As Tom mentioned, you got the Raise Your Glasses book, which you can go to Amazon and give us a 5-star review there. That helps us out tremendously as well. And you can buy our Shout It Out Loudcast merch, great T-shirts and everything there. Support the show. And if you do get a shirt, please make sure you send us a picture, tell us, and we'll put it on the website. Tom, we end with famous last words. Do you have any?
My mama, she said I was a black sheep. My baby, she said I was a creep. And I'm oh so sad. Oh so bad. So sad, but it's true. Baby, what can I do?
There's nothing better than you. That's what I'm going to end it on. Tom.
I love it.
Christopher Dickinson, if he's still alive. The kiss tard that was in the fucking Phil Donahue show. Phil Donahue from the grave. Loudcasters, thank you.
Cheryl Ann Thompson, hook us up. Come on, I want to see what you look like now, baby. Loudcasters, everybody, you guys rock. Zeus, as always, my friend, thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Hit the music. What I'd like now is for all you fat, out-of-shape, worldwide kiss tards to keep the noise down while I show your ladies what a real sexy man looks like.
Listen, all you people out there sitting on rented furniture, settle down.
Cut the music. Anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?